So the first one is affection. Now, affection directly raises your levels of oxytocin, which is the chemical that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. And a lot of guys, especially in the dating community and the men's self-improvement community, don't really realize that you have affection needs as well, not just sexual needs. So most guys, you're going to need to feel 100%, you're going to need to at least cuddle a girl once a week, okay? I don't have a lot of affection needs, but I feel better when I cuddle a girl once a week. Now, the best way to do that is, to have, a girl that you care about in your life and you see her maybe once or twice a week, and you have a good cuddle, usually after sex, for like a couple hours. But one thing you got to watch is too much affection and too much cuddling actually has a negative impact. At least it does in my case. You start to feel like too comfortable. You start to feel a bit too soft. You start to feel like you don't really want to face the outside world. So for me, I don't like to cuddle too much. For me, once a week for, lying in bed for like 3-4 hours with a girl is perfect. I don't need much more than that. And you just gotta be careful, like all things, everything in moderation. But judge how you feel, and just remember that you have emotional needs as well as sexual needs, and that doesn't make you a pussy. Next up, cold shower. This is one of the best ways to immediately increase your energy and immediately increase your resistance to depression and your mental state. So you can start with a warm shower, but finish with 30 seconds of cold. 5 on the head, 10 on the chest, and 10 on the back, and then 5 on the head again. And for a long period of time, I did this every morning. It's refreshing. It gives you an adrenaline rush, and it gives you an energy boost. Even a warm shower makes you feel better. If I'm in a bad mood, a lot of the times I'll just have a warm shower, and that will make you feel better. It gets the blood flow going. Water is a brilliant thing. And if you want to step that up to the next level, then drop the cold shower for 30-45 seconds, and you're going to feel amazing. It doesn't matter how depressed you are at that moment. That will 100% work every time. Next point, sprinting. Now, you guys know that I don't like sprinting, and the reason I tell guys not to do it is because it's bad for your knees. For your high intensity cardio, I suggest that guys do elliptical and stationary bike. However, they just do not have the emotional impact of sprinting. For whatever reason, I don't get the runner's high on the elliptical, and I don't get the runner's high on the stationary bike, but I get a big runner's high on the treadmill if I go for a sprint, okay? And the reason you get that is because your body senses pain and it releases endorphins, which are nature's natural painkillers, and that gives you a big boost in your state. It's like taking a low-level opiate, and if you really go all out in the sprint, there's like a period of like a minute or two where you start to feel like some kind of demigod, like you could take on the entire world and nothing can stop you. And I'm telling you, if you are feeling low, hop on that treadmill, go hard, push yourself past the wall, and once you get past the wall, you will get into that runner's high, and it feels amazing, and that's going to last. It'll reverberate throughout the day, but just try and avoid doing that too often because it is hard on your joints. Next point, reading or listening to motivational media. This is crucial. The human brain is a sponge, and the more positivity you're around, the more positivity you feel. Even a Tony Robbins book, which has a lot of generic advice, or one of these generic motivational sites, is 100% better than almost everything out there. Even if it's like retard positivity, your brain is a sponge, and an immersion in that will affect your mood positively. If you've been reading a lot of negativity stuff, I suggest you do a positivity fast for a month and see how much better you'll feel. Next point, Fenibit. You can have a look at the the video I do on Fenibit or the links on my site. Fenibit in moderation is the best drug I've taken for lifting mood. It's a GABA agonist similar to alcohol without the cognitive side effects of lethargy, and on moderate dose, Fenibit, you'll notice an increase in energy, relaxation, happiness. Music sounds amazing. Have a look at my site for the dosing schedule. Really, the way you do it is you take like a gram on an empty stomach in the morning combined with caffeine, and you don't eat for 3-4 hours. And the Fenibit is going to peak. You're going to notice it with about 4 hours in, and then it's going to last almost the entire day. But be careful with this one. Okay, this is not something you can use every day. This is a few times a week at the most. The withdrawal stories for guys who started using this every day are horrible. This is a legal supplement for now, but it's a very powerful drug, so you should be careful using it. And if you have had a problem with substance abuse, especially alcohol abuse, do not use this drug, okay? Only use this drug if you have discipline and you are able to control your substances. And next up, the other state booster, which I combine with Fenibit, is caffeine. And caffeine I take every single day. Okay, now a lot of people will tell you not to do that because you build a tolerance. But my life is better with caffeine, even though I have a high tolerance to it, than it is without it. And it is way better. Now, I'm still on the lookout for drugs that I can use on alternate days so that I could use caffeine every 3 days and then another drug on the other 4 days. But I haven't found one yet, unfortunately. So caffeine is an awesome drug. It is my favorite drug, and it works consistently every day. And the tolerance is still only mild. I've been taking caffeine forever, and I'm on 200 milligrams a day, but I still get a good result out of that. With that said, if you don't take caffeine every day, the results are even stronger. If you don't take caffeine often and you take like a 100 milligram or 200 milligram pill, you're gonna feel like a powerful result. The best way to take it is in the morning with a ton of water, because that's gonna negate the diuretic effects. And it's a good thing to take caffeine at lunch with your meal to avoid the midday dip in state where you get tired after lunch. Next state booster is laughter. Going out with your buddies who can make you laugh is a great state booster, especially when you're feeling down. But the most consistent thing, because your buddies are not always available, is throwing on a comedy or a YouTube video. For me, I'll throw on a Family Guy video, and that can put me in a good state for like 10 or 20 minutes, or watching like Louis C.K. or something like that. You know, go 10, 20 minutes of watching something funny, and you'll be surprised at how quickly your state can change. And finally, the last state booster is music. Powerful, uplifting music is awesome for state boost. I go most places. If I know I have something boring to do, I'm going to go there with headphones so that I can keep my state up. And every morning when I wake up, I throw the headphones on and I put powerful, uplifting music. I pump that into my head, and that is a great way to start the day. And on the flip side, you definitely want to avoid depressing music. If you are the kind of guy who listens to like sad indie music, you need to cut that out, because I could put on sad indie music, and within 30 minutes I'll notice my state dropping by as much as 50%. So music is a powerful tool, and you want to use it positively.